well. Happy Tuesday. I hope things are good where you are. It's meant to snow today, apparently, in London, so that's quite exciting. And we this morning by the lovely Alexandra Bertels, who's one of our I Also 100, who is here. Hello.
Hi,
Nice to see you, my love. How are you?
I'm really well, thanks. Happy International Women's Day Eve. Does
Eve.
that work?
Yeah, I know. Very glamorous in F Entrepreneur HQ today, doing lots of sticker name badges, making sure everyone's got their invites, telling people what they need to wear. So it's all very exciting. So for those that don't know, we are having an event tomorrow at the House of Lords to celebrate International Women's Day, where we are getting together our brand new I Also 100, including your good self. And it's going to be fab. We're very, very much looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a bit cold, so you know, thermals. But we'll do lots of pictures. There'll be wines that will warm us up, won't it? Let's be honest. But we are here to chat about you, my love, and your brilliant, brilliant brand In Good Company. Could you tell us all about it for those that don't know?
Yeah, of course. So in Good Company, we kind of got two sides of the business. So on the one hand, there are, tens, hundreds of thousands of amazing, purpose-driven, like mission-led businesses all around the country who are doing brilliant things, not just as a business and, generating profit and employing people, but also going above and beyond to help people in the local community to be a good employer, to give back in various different ways, to take their environmental responsibility really seriously. But we know, particularly post-pandemic and with the cost of living crisis, it can be really hard for them. And whilst, all the studies say, people want to support good companies, actually, it can be quite hard to find them. It can maybe feel a bit inconvenient, and we're human, right? So we kind of go, oh yeah, I've got such good intentions, but actually I'm just going to do kind of what's really easy. And I think that's so true, especially for bricks and mortar businesses who are doing in real life stuff. It's easier on the internet to kind of do your research and find your vegan, plastic ocean, good companies, but it's much harder when you're out and about. And so we really want to help those businesses thrive. And we do that by connecting them to people like you and me and all the people listening who want to support amazing purpose-driven businesses. And they're more likely to be led by women or people from diverse backgrounds, and they're, for me, they're the kind of places that we really want to see thriving on our high streets and side streets. So we're making an app, so it will be really easy for you to kind of go, I'm looking for coffee, or, what's on this weekend? I want to go and do something with some friends and find coffee shops, restaurants, cafes. We're going to have hair salons. So if you need your hair done, you can find a really cool, environmentally friendly one. Yeah, and just we'll have photos, reviews. That's more kind of social media. And yeah, and our kind of whole mission is to sort of help people have experiences that really make a difference.
That's what an incredible thing, because you think the intent is there, right, for a lot of people, but they just don't quite know where to go, what to do. So you are led by price, by locality, what's easy, aren't you, a lot of the time? So, it's making that transition and that help for them, isn't it, I suppose. And what was the instigator of starting your business? What made you decide to do it?
So it was two things actually. So the first one is, so I had a corporate career before becoming an entrepreneur. Never thought I would be an entrepreneur. And I left my job of 9 years. I worked at TalkTalk and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and did a lot of really great mission driven stuff around internet safety. I was in charge of customer loyalty, and I loved that because it was really about how you kind of focus on your existing customers, not just bringing in new ones. But decided after 9 years that I wanted to, leave and find something that was more kind of purpose aligned. So I went and did a millennial backpacking sabbatical in Asia. Yeah, I was like, right, I need to, go off and kind of just take a break, and had visions of eat, pray, love a little bit, and all of that kind of good stuff. And I did a lot of volunteering while I was traveling, and I volunteered at an elephant sanctuary and teaching English. And I remember at the time I was looking, I love doing research, right? So, and I think a lot of people do, you want to look at where you're going and kind of get the lay of the land. And I really wanted to find kind of authentic, unique experiences and not just do the kind of tourist traps. And when I was out there, I was discovering all of these social enterprises in Asia, and there were, people. There was an amazing company that did massages, but it was entirely done by people who were blind, because there's still quite a lot of stigma, barriers to getting work if you were blind. And it's called Seeing Hands, and I thought it was amazing. So like, you don't need eyesight to be able to give a
No.
massage, right? Like
Yeah.
you, and so there was all of that kind of stuff, and not-for-profit cafes, but they were really hard to find. And it was that kind of, you'd stumble across them or you'd miss them completely. And I remember texting somebody I used to work with, and I was like, how hard would it be to build an app so you can find these places? Because I was like, actually, particularly thinking about ecotourism, responsible tourism, and also getting to like experience the different side of the culture and feel kind of much more connected to where you are, right? Those were the kind of experiences I wanted, and other people I talked to when I was traveling wanted them too. So that was the kind of big thing. And then came back, didn't do it. For some good reasons. I cared for my dad for a while, and was kind of figuring out what to do, but also I had a lot of fear around it, to be really honest. I was like, oh, I'm kind of, I'm 35, like I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. Can I really start a business? And there's this amazing I've actually got the book next to me. There's an amazing book by Elizabeth Gilbert, who called like Big Magic, and she talks about this concept that like ideas kind of come to people, and if you don't birth them and kind of bring them into the world, then the idea will kind of float off and find someone else. And I could feel it, right? So I could like feel that the idea was kind of starting to go off, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be on my deathbed going, I had the idea. Yeah. I could have done that. And so I thought, you know what, if I don't do it, I'll never know.
Oh, I think that's incredible. And you know what? I think that's a lot of female entrepreneurs especially can completely resonate, because these ideas percolate, don't they, over time. And you're like, I really want to do it, but I'm terrified. But then I'll be really devastated if anyone else goes and does it. So weird, like, mixture of fear and trepidation, and you've just got to do it sometimes, haven't you? So congratulations for even doing it. Well done.
Thank you.
Did you have, because obviously creating an app sounds great, but the actual technicality of it must be quite intrinsic, I imagine. So how did you start? Did you just get people on board that knew what they were doing in that capacity, get lots of advice?
Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest business in the world, right? So I have those moments where I'm like, why didn't I just, like, I don't know, sell widgets that I get from, I don't know, I drop ship from somewhere, and then I'm like, no, obviously that's really not aligned with my values, and I would hate that. So I was really lucky, actually, because I had, when I was at TalkTalk, actually, I ran the digital department for a while. So I'd learned, I'm not a developer, sorry, and the joys of home working. My cat wants to come join us.
Love it.
I'm not a developer, but I understand kind of technology, and I really love it. And then I got in touch with my old colleague who kind of co-ran the department with me, and to ask him for some advice. And I was really lucky. He was like, actually, this is quite interesting and I might want to come in. And so I've been really, really lucky to have a great CTO. And he's really helped build it. It's taking longer. It took longer. We're now in testing with users. So it's really exciting. We've got about 20 users at the moment, and it will be going out to more people, including obviously the amazing F Entrepreneur community. Very soon. But yeah, so I was really lucky to find somebody that I really trusted. And I think that's, it's a really important thing about realizing like where your skill limitations are and trying to find people to support you with that.
Definitely. And I think a lot of us can sometimes disregard our corporate life, for example, and go, oh God, but it actually, without that, you wouldn't have been able to do what you're doing now, would you? Without that contact relationship. you were able to call on that person when needed and have that trusty ally to do it with you. So tell me the plans for the app. So obviously you're just launching, doing the testing now. Where do you want it to go? What do you want it to do? Do you want it to be on everybody's phone to go, I want eco-friendly, sustainable coffee now? Where am I going?
Yes, I mean that is the dream, right? So yeah, I mean, so we're starting in London. It's our hometown. I was born here. You know, I love it, and there's a really thriving, good company scene here. But we very quickly want to expand outside of London. And we've already actually had some approaches from people in Sussex, in Bristol, in Kent, Essex, you know, who are kind of going, oh, you know, we're thinking about something similar in our area. Can you come? So that's really exciting. So yeah, so quickly roll out. And then I think for us, one of the things we really want to do is not just connect people with the businesses, but it's also give feedback to the businesses on kind of what they could what's working really well, what people seem to really like, how they could maybe do, you know, make some tweaks or some improvements. Also, you know, there's no such thing as a like perfect sustainable business, because none of us are perfect, you know, and businesses are run by humans, and it's a journey, right? As we learn more, and you know, changes it's a journey that goes on forever. And so I think for us, it's also how can we help businesses who maybe are starting out on that journey and want to understand the changes they could make, you know, what other businesses are doing, right? Because it can be, my co-founder Sarah was speaking to a great guy who runs a coffee shop, and he was like, I really want to be more sustainable, but I just like, firstly, I've got so much that I need to do, like running my coffee shop. And then he's like, I'm switching to compostable cups, but I don't know if that's like, is that good? Is that, you know, does that really make a difference? I don't know what else I should be doing. And so I think there's also like, we really want to be there to kind of support businesses and share the learnings from the community, right? So yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And you know, with Small Business Britain here, we are very big on sustainability, and we are very open to the fact that nobody really knows. We're learning. And we had a sustainability basics course that was incredible, that people could come on and created that network. And I feel that's another opportunity for you, isn't it, to connect the businesses, so the businesses have that wonderful network of like-minded businesses they can check in with and say, do I get compostable cups? What would you do? Did you do that? How did it work? You know, and it's this network of like-minded souls that can grow and learn together. I think it's brilliant. And so my questions are, if you are that coffee shop and go, oh, I should be on this, or you're that consumer who's like, I want this, what do you do? How do you get involved?
Yes, so great question. Love that question. It's my favorite one. So yes, head to our website. So the link is in our bio. It's ingoodcompany.org.uk. And if you are a person who wants to get kind of first access, then there's a sign up button, and go sign up. We'll send you some, I think, beautifully curated newsletters, but you could disagree if you want. But no, I will send you kind of, you know, some tips and some recommendations of places to go, and then you will be the first to get access to the platform as we open it up to more people. So yeah, sign up to our mailing list, and that's how you get first access. Obviously follow us on Instagram, and if you're a business, then again, head to our website. We've got a really simple form there, and you can just fill in a bit of information about yourself. We will review that, come back to you, and then get you loaded on the platform as well. So there's a really simple form in there that you can fill in.
And is it free for businesses? Is there a charge? How does it work?
Yeah, so we will always have a free option for businesses, because we don't want any, it would completely go against our values to charge, you know, make people pay to be on it. And we want to support, you know, all the businesses that we possibly can. So there'll always be a free option, and it will be really good. And you'll get a listing on the app, you'll get some insight, you'll be able to see a bunch of stuff. And then we will introduce some paid for tiers, but obviously those will be optional, and that will give you additional support and insight, but there will always be a free option.
Fabulous. That's music to our ears. Wonderful.
Yeah,
you know, it's tough out there, and it's arguably another outlet that maybe people can't commit to right now. So it's wonderful to have that option. It's very exciting. You've got a lot of female entrepreneurs ready and willing to give it a go, I feel. So when you're ready for us to go mad, do let us know. We'll promote it. you. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful to hear your story, and thank you for sharing it with me this morning. And you know, really congratulations, what a fantastic business, and much needed for sure. And we will see you tomorrow.
I can't wait. And honestly, I'm just, I think one of the things there's so, I never thought I would be an entrepreneur, and, I'm not coming to it late in life, but I'm coming to it slightly later. I wasn't, a business starter right out of university. And I think the thing that I've just discovered, and particularly with the F entrepreneur community, is just like how many amazing women are setting up not just profitable revenue generating businesses, but like are really making a difference with them as well. And I think that kind of purpose and impact, and just the kind of drive to make the our bit of the world a better place, and also do all the other things that like being a woman involves doing, like making name badges.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the ethos of F Entrepreneur, the I also, really, because years ago when women used to say I used to do several roles, people used to be like, oh well, I distinctly remember going to this networking thing, and I said I do this, this, and this, and this, and somebody went, well, you need to pick one and stick to it, and I was like, why? And it was this really weird thing for me. And then I remember when the F Entrepreneur I also discovered, like, came to fruition, it was about these women that were doing that. But isn't that incredible that we're doing all these things, and that should be celebrated, right? So
yeah,
where that's what we're all about, because you're not the only one, and a lot of us have had a corporate career, or we've come to it later, or it's wonderful hearing everybody's stories of how they've come to get their own business and find their own business and doing these wonderful things. And it's going to be so beautiful tomorrow to see these women in the flesh. Collaborations are going to happen, drink is going to be had, lovely chats are going to be had. It's going to be brilliant. And we're so in awe of you all every time. Honestly, these stories that we hear are so incredible. So thank you for being part of it, and we wish you so much luck with In Good Company. Everyone join it, follow it, wish it well.
Thank you.
Wait to get involved, but thank you so much, my love, and we'll see you then. Take care.
See you tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.
Thank you.